I just found this for $12.99 at the thrift store and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. Let's make a $13 thrift find into a designer looking coffee table. First order of business is to get this coffee table cleaned. It is in fairly decent condition and it is pretty much solid wood. There's wood all over, but the top is veneer, but it's still wood and it's very heavy. These little sections down below are like 2 inches thick. Like, it is a very well-made coffee table, but I like to start out by cleaning so that I can kind of assess any damages, but then also just start with a clean slate. After all, this did come from a thrift store and I don't want to sand any oils and dirt down into the wood grain. So I'm gonna be using my Gear Hugger eco-friendly cleaner. It is a degreaser, and we'll just spray that onto the top of the coffee table and wipe it all down.
Driving in the car. I'm driving.
So I'm gonna use my Surf Prep sander. This is the 5-inch orbital sander with a 180 grit because, like I said, this is a veneer and it is gonna probably be pretty thin and I don't wanna bust through the veneer and sand too far, too fast. So I'm gonna go slow. Usually if I were sanding off a solid wood piece or something like that, it may start out with like a 100, even an 80 grit, but because we wanna be careful, we don't wanna have as low of a grit, as harsh of a sandpaper to start sanding off the finish. Now, there are a few different ways that you can attempt to take the finish off of a piece, and that is sanding, that is stripping, that is using acetone, scraping, so many different methods. But since the finish is failing a lot on this piece, I think the best bet and the fastest is going to be sanding everything down. So I'll start with the 180 and then I'll move up to a 220, probably before I stain or do the method that I'm gonna get the wood tone. Little by little, I have been adding some updates to the exterior of the house as well as the interior, but one exterior / interior thing that I recently added was a desk lock smart lock K120. Now I can unlock the front door with my fingerprint or a code, which is honestly way more convenient than digging through my bag for keys, especially when my hands are super full. Alexa, lock the front door. One thing that people always worry about, and I did too with smart locks, is the battery life, and I totally get that. But this one has a rechargeable 15,000 milliwatt hour battery that can last up to 13 months so that you're not constantly changing batteries or stressing about it dying and locking you out. It also has something called GPT finger technology, which is really cool, and Deslock is actually the first brand to introduce it. And basically the lock learns your fingerprint over time, so it keeps improving its recognition the more you use it. Even if your fingerprint changes a little bit from like dry skin, small cuts, or wear and tear, like if you're doing furniture flipping or woodworking projects, it can still recognize your fingerprint. And if you happen to own rental properties, it even has a landlord mode that makes managing access a lot easier. It's also built to be really secure with IP65 weather resistance, BHMA grade 3 certification, and your data is stored locally with encrypted protection. Deslock has actually been in the smart lock industry for 17 years and served over 10 million users worldwide, so they really focus on making reliable locks for families. So, moral of the story is, if you are looking for an upgrade to your front door and need a smart lock, check out the Deslock K120. I will link everything down below in the description. I am already so happy with this, and it's only been installed for a few days now. I don't have to carry keys around. It uses my fingerprint to get right in the door, and then you can even have it set to lock automatically once you shut the door. So many different opportunities with this lock. Check it out down below in the description. And now let's get back to that coffee table. Now that the top is sanded down to the raw wood, I am going to do some staining, and we're gonna just do with all natural color staining. It's a Dixie Belle color called Au Natural. And this is super easy to do, and it kind of mimics a paint wash, but it's just a gel stain, water-based gel stain instead of watered down paint. So I've got my blue sponge, I've got my mister bottle, and then I've got my stain, and I've got my rags to wipe back any excess. My method is to just do a little spray on the actual tabletop, and then do a little spray on my sponge and apply the stain as needed. And I like to do it in sections, except with darker colors. If there's wood grain going in so many different directions, it may be a good idea to tape off different sections. I feel like I just get a less splotchy finish that way, but because this one is a lighter color, it shouldn't matter too much. If I did the whole thing or in sections, it would probably be fine either way. But it is a little windy out today in my area, so it'll probably dry fast, so I want to do it in sections. So the goal of this specific color isn't really to change the color of the wood too much, but a lot of the times with oak, which I'm pretty sure this is oak veneer, it turns yellow whenever you put just a top coat on it. And so this method just kind of eliminates that yellow tone and just gives you a much more natural tone of wood. I taped off the top of the table that I had already sanded down and did the paint wash on so that I can prime and paint the remainder. And there's one extra step that I'm going to take around the edges here, and that is to use my satin or matte or really any sheen, but it's the clear spray. And this is just going to seal in all of the tape edges basically. It's gonna help so that the paint doesn't seep under. A lot of the times this happens, especially when you're going from a surface that's not all the way sanded down to raw wood to a surface that is sanded to raw wood, because the raw wood has open pores because I haven't sealed it yet. So we're just gonna seal the edges, just a light coat, doesn't need to be anything too crazy. And then once that dries, I'll be able to prime and it should not seep through at all. Okay, I've got my primer all in my sprayer. I'm gonna just do the top now and then I'll have to flip it over and do the legs. But just with the way that this is shaped, that's gonna be the best way for me to do it. Primer is all dry and I am going to go ahead and spray on my color that I've chosen for the legs, and it's really gonna complement the top really well. It's a very neutral color and it is called Glacier by Dixie Belle. So this color I have used on other pieces before, and it is a pretty neutral tan, but very light. And I think that's gonna be perfect for the look that I'm going for. I want this to be a super natural, but light and bright piece that can be the center of someone's living room. And this is gonna be perfect and it'll also kind of highlight a lot of the wood grain that's still showing through the primer, which you can totally cover up with like wood filler or things like that, but I want to embrace the wood grain, especially because this piece is solid wood, and being able to see that wood grain through the paint is kind of something that I want to highlight in this flip. So we're going to use my strainer and get it into my spray gun here, and then spray the legs. Once those are dry, we'll flip it and get the top lip as well. This is an all-in-one paint as well, so it does not require a top coat, and I probably will top coat it because I need to top coat the top of it. So in order for everything to just look nice and satin, I'll just go ahead and do all of it, but it technically doesn't need the extra top coat protection. We are ready for the top coat. I'm gonna go ahead and peel off this top piece of plastic so that way I can do a quick top coat on the wood portion. I think originally I had said I was going to spray on the top coat and it'll get on all of the paint as well, but I don't want to do that anymore. I am just going to put a top coat on with a sponge so that it kind of just stays neutral to the top. All right, I finally was able to bring this puppy inside and I just love it. The wood grain turned out so good. I would say I did about 4 or 5 coats of the satin top coat and I cannot feel the wood grain anymore, which is really good because for a coffee table, it's gonna be a super high traffic spot. And I wanted to make sure that if there are any spills or things like that, that they could just easily be wiped up. But this top wood looks so good with the neutral paint color down below. I kind of wish that it went a little bit better in my living room because it's just so beautiful. I can't wait to to get this up on Facebook Marketplace and see what it goes for. I think I could probably get anywhere from like $200 or $300, and with a $13 buy-in originally and the cost of the primer and paint and top coat and some sandpaper, I'm probably in only around like $40 total for this thing. So not a bad flip, not a bad profit if you ask me. I'm super excited with the way that this thing turned out. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this flip. I had a lot of fun with it. These quicker flips are getting me super excited to gear up for spring and summer weather when I feel like I'm actually going to be able to be out in the garage for longer durations of time. I think and hope and pray that the snow is officially gone and it's not coming back, but we shall see what the weather does up here in the next few weeks to see if I can get out in the garage for longer periods of time. Like I said, thanks so much for watching. All links can be found down below in the description box, and don't forget to check out the Desk Lock K120 Smart Lock for your front door. Game changer here in this household. I cannot be happier with that lock. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the flip side.